guy. Good guy.
Oh, smokes. Oh, smokes.
Nightmares observed from the air. Raw, real, and absolutely unbelievable. When you look at the aftermath of a wild hog invasion, it's like a Category 5 hurricane just ripped through the land. But these feral hogs aren't just leveling commercial crop fields across Mississippi anymore. They are aggressively busting right into residential backyards, attacking family pets, and tearing up lush, manicured urban lawns without a second thought. So, how are Mississippians fighting back? And how exactly are we putting a stop to this destructive invasion? Stick around and watch until the end of today's video on LWT Wildlife to uncover the whole thrilling story. To understand the scale, you have to look at the cold, hard numbers. In Mississippi alone, feral hogs have infiltrated all 82 counties, draining a staggering $66 million from the local economy every single year. They act like living bulldozers, rooting up $28 an acre on row crops and tearing through pristine pasture lands. For the hard-working folks out here, waking up to see their livelihood shredded to pieces is a devastating economic gut punch. It's an all-out war for survival. As soon as the wild hogs appeared in Thomas's backyard, he observed them and set out bait, just like most folks typically do. His first thought? Take out the largest lead hog. Now, if it's just a lone sow with newborns, this works. The piglets scatter and usually get picked off by local coyotes without their mother guiding them. But what if the herd invading your property is a massive sounder packed with mature adults? Do these isolated, one-off hunting efforts really solve the core problem? Here is the exact answer. No. When the first shot rings out, the whole sounder panics and becomes incredibly vigilant of humans and bait sites. That is when the real headache begins. The hogs might abandon that specific spot and become deeply cautious of our solutions. But that doesn't mean the damage decreases. They keep relentlessly destroying everything in their path. They just don't do it as openly as they did before. You just created a phantom sounder. We're out here in the sprawling farmlands of Yazoo County, Mississippi. This isn't just any property. It's owned by military veterans. These men have faced real war in the past. They've got the combat experience and the tactical discipline to handle a threat. But when wild hogs started shredding their land, they realized something critical. You can't fight an invasion with single-shot tactics. They know that taking out one or two hogs just triggers a survival instinct that makes the rest of the herd even harder to catch. To end these nightmares immediately, you have to capture the entire sounder at once. That's exactly why David is flooded with orders from these vets. You'll see trap lines set up across multiple adjacent farms, creating a unified, coordinated strike against the invaders. If you really want to fix the problem, you have to go big. Enter the heavy-duty drop traps and octagonal multi-door panel trap systems. These aren't your grandpa's box traps. They are wide open, letting the entire sounder walk in completely relaxed. David watches miles away through a live cellular feed. When every single hog, from the mature wild hogs to the smallest piglets, is eating the corn, he drops the gate. The entire sounder caught all at once. That is exactly how you get the job done right. But out here in the Mississippi bottoms, nature always throws unexpected challenges at you. Heavy rain pours from morning till night, bringing floods that wash away everything in sight. Whole trap setups end up submerged in muddy water. Just moving from the house to the trap site is a massive challenge for David. One slip on these flooded trails, and he could sink into hidden mud holes. Fixing and rigging gear in this slop is a nightmare for a beginner. But for a seasoned guy like David, this brutal grind is just a block of time, repeating year after year in his line of work. The physical toll is absolute madness. Driving through these slick, muddy conditions, just one tiny slip-up can leave your entire truck and trap panels hopelessly stuck in the slop. Even a single, unfocused steering maneuver could flip the entire rig over. But David doesn't quit. He clears the path, powers through the mud, and keeps grinding. Because out here, if you back down, the hogs win. And that is not an option. Despite the brutal conditions, you won't hear a single complaint. When David is knee-deep in a waist-deep mud hole, lugging 50-pound bags of corn on his shoulders, he just laughs it off. "The devil ain't got me yet," he says. That right there is the raw, unbreakable American grit. It's a relentless, positive energy that fuels this grueling work. When Mother Nature and feral hogs try to break your spirit, a gritty smile is your absolute best defense. But muscle alone doesn't catch giant hogs. It takes stone-cold patience. You set the bait, rig the cameras, and then you wait, staring at a thermal screen at 2 in the morning, watching raccoons scatter the corn, hoping the big boars show up. The hardest part of the job is keeping your finger off the trigger. You have to let them feed, let them get comfortable. Precision and timing are everything. You don't just want a few hogs, you want the whole gang. Once the gate drops, the real heavy lifting begins. We are talking about dragging giant hogs that weigh twice as much as a grown man out of the slick mud. You hook up the Can-Am winch and push your gear to the absolute limit just to haul these giants onto the trailer. It is a back-breaking job just getting them out of the woods. But watching that massive steel trailer roll out of the deep woods, fully loaded, makes every drop of sweat and every broken bolt totally worth it. And here is the best part. Nothing goes to waste. We are eliminating an invasive nightmare, but we respect the resource. David hauls these massive catches straight back to the community. He gives the meat away to locals, filling up freezers for hard-working families who can use a helping hand. What isn't used for the dinner table gets processed into high-protein dog food for local hunting dogs. It's a beautiful, full-circle give-back that truly supports the community. Some folks think nature can balance itself out, relying on local coyotes to keep the hog population in check. But that is a losing bet. Feral hogs are eating machines with an insane reproduction rate. They breed and adapt so incredibly fast that natural predators are completely left in the dust. A sounder can triple in size in a single year. Mother Nature's cleanup crew simply cannot keep up with this aggressive, fast-moving biological invasion. That is exactly why we need a massive, unified front. State wildlife agencies and government programs do what they can, providing research and funding, but they simply don't have the manpower to cover every acre of land. That massive gap is filled by the relentless, boots-on-the-ground efforts of independent trappers like David. By combining local support with these dedicated private crews, we build a defense strong enough to actually take our farmlands back.
That's what I was waiting on.
Now, I want to hear from the real experts out there, you guys. Many of you watching are seasoned hunters, veterans, and lifelong farmers. How are you dealing with this feral hog disaster in your neck of the woods? What trap designs or strategies are working best for you? Drop your knowledge in the comments below. If you also love watching films about invasive wild hogs, click to watch the next video right at the end of this one. I hope it will be another great story for us to discuss. Thank you so much for watching today's video.